The scientific study of life. Tetrapods are gnothostomes that have limbs and feet. One of the most significant events in vertebrates history took place about 360 million years ago, when the fins of some lobipfins evolved into the limbs and feet of tetrapods. Until then, all vertebrates had shared the same basic fish-like anatomy. Once tetrapods moved into land, they eventually took to many new forms, from leaping frogs to flying eagles to bipedal humans. Derived characters to tetrapods. The most significant character of tetrapods gives the group its name, which means 4 feet in Greek. In place of pectoral and pelvic fins, tetrapods have limbs that can support their weight on land and feet with digits that allow them to transmit muscle-generated forces to the ground when they walk. Um, life Life on land brought numerous other changes in the tetrapod body plan. The bones of the pelvic girdle to which the hind legs are attached are fused to the backbone, permitting forces generated by the hind legs against the ground to be transferred to the rest of the body. Living tetrapods do not have gill slits. During embryonic development, the pharyngeal clefts instead give rise to parts of the ears, glands, and other structures. The ears are adapted to the detection of airborne sounds. Some of these characters were dramatically altered or lost in various lineages of tetrapods. For example, the pairs of pectoral limbs become wings, while the whales, the entire body converge toward a fish-like shape. Or the origin of tetrapods, the Devonian coastal wetlands were home to a wide range of dolphins. Those that entered particularly shallow, oxygen-poor water could use their lungs to breathe air. Some species probably used their stout fins to help them move across logs or the mid-bottom. Thus, the tetrapod body plan did not evolve out of now here, but was simply a modification of a pre-existing body plan. In one range of loopy fins, the fins become progressively more limb-like, while the rest of the body retained adaptation of aquatic life. For example, Acanthostega, a close relative of tetrapods that lived in Greenland 365 million years ago, had fully formed legs, ankles, and digits. Yet it also retained adaptations for the water. It had bones that supported gills, and it had rays in its tail that supported a delicate fin that propelled to throw water. Its pectoral and pelvic girdles were too weak to carry its body on land. Acanthostega may have slithered out of the water from time to time, but for the most part of its aquatic. Extraordinary fossil discoveries over the past 20 years have allowed paleontologists to reconstruct the origin of tetrapods with confidence. A great diversity of tetrapods emerged during the Devonian and Carboniferous periods, and some species reached 2 meters in length. Judging from the morphology and locations of their fossils, most of these early tetrapods probably remain tied to the water, a feature they share with some members of a group of living tetrapods called amphibians. Notice this figure. This is the fossil called Acanthostega. Acanthostega, a Devonian relative of tetrapods, as shown this figure. Bones supporting gills and tetrapod limb skeleton. Along with the derived appendages of tetrapods, Acanthostasia retained primitive aquatic adaptations such as gills. Notice also the origin of tetrapods. This figure shows that the bars on the branches of this diagram place known fossils in time. Arrows indicate lengths that extend to today. The drawings of extinct forms are based on fossilized skeletons, but the colors are fanciful, as shown in this figure. Notice the Paleozoic period and Carboniferous, and notice also Devonian. Okay.